All right, I think we're live. Sorry if there was a little bit of silence at the beginning. I'm just kind of confused about the streaming process still. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So I'm here, I'm talking. Today was a pretty cool day.
I'm gonna hear.
I
I'm gonna
uh,
hear, man.
I went to watch Marty Supreme, and not a huge fan, honestly. I mean, the movie, yeah, it had this like certain element of it of like, I don't know, I felt like they were really trying too hard. Like, as soon as I found out that the movie was set in the 1950s, right? My first thought was, like, why? You know what I mean? Why is this random A24 production getting. What the fuck? Did I really just get killed by a fucking wild animal? Crazy. Yeah, so my question is, why did this movie need to be set in the 1950s? I just can't help but feel like if Josh Safdie wasn't involved in this project, right? If this project was just like some random dude with a really great idea or whatever, it would be like, hey man, why don't you set this movie in 2012 or modern times? Yeah, he's a professional ping pong player that wants to win some random championship in Japan. Okay, none of that sounds like it really needs to be set in the past. I know it's based on this guy named Marty
Hey, hold
Reisman or
up!
whatever, but
I don't have to take this. I'm calling the
I don't know.
cops.
It didn't really feel like they put in enough effort with the actual cast members to really immerse you in a 1950s style movie. Kyle the Creator, Odessa Zion, and Timothy Chalamet and Gwyneth Paltrow are the main stars of this movie. Kevin O'Leary, he's kind of in it too. And all right, confession time. I did not watch the entirety of
That's
this
tough
movie.
luck right there.
I walked in and out several times. I was distracted. And I'm not a very good film student. I know I'm not a very good film student. I'm not a very good analyzer of movies. I get bored easily. But there are movies that I watched in 2025 from start to finish. Movies like Sinners, movies like One Battle After Another, Top Gun. No, not Top Gun. I know Mission Impossible. Yeah, I definitely remember watching a 2025 Mission Impossible movie, and I walked out of like I literally watched less than 20% of that movie. It was garbage. So yeah, you know what? We'll put it at if I had to rank every movie in 2025 that I've seen, like it came out in theaters in 2025. I mean, obviously, I would put Marty Supreme there as a technicality, even though it came out in 2026 here in Australia. I would put it technically as a 2025 movie in my rankings. It would probably end up being like the sixth or fifth best movie that I've seen here. And that's not a huge compliment because A, I haven't seen that many movies, and B, the movies that I have seen were mostly boring. Okay, let's put it above. I'm gonna put it just above Begonia, probably, if I had to make a list. Begonia was not that great either. Not a huge fan of Begonia, but at the very least, I would say there is enough charm in the cast to put it above Begonia because, in general, Tyler Creator is kind of cool. He's alright. Chalamet is pretty good. Odessa's fine. I don't know how new she is to acting in general, but obviously this is her first like major feature film, right? Like I don't think I ever saw her in I Love L.A. and she was okay in that, I guess. All right, so that was my thoughts on Marty Supreme. Now I will talk about something else, which is a very uncomfortable phone call that I had with a buddy of mine who I'm helping out with a open mic, an upcoming open mic comedy show in Piermont. So far, as far as I'm aware, I'm still helping out with this comedy show, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But basically, a dude called me up and he said this. He said after he posted my name on the open mic Facebook group, some people approached him and said he should be careful about working with me because of my reputation and because of allegations of things that I've said. I think all of them are about shitty things that I've said through messaging people, basically. As far as I can tell, that was the crux of it, right? And one of them was that I said something really offensive or creepy, and the other was that I asked a lot of people for money. So we'll start with the offensive or creepy, okay? Let me start by saying this. Emotions are fairly subjective, and one person can take a message in a certain way, and another person can take it another way. And, so with that in mind, I mean, yeah, if someone says that a message I sent them was creepy or weird, I'm not going to argue against that. Yeah, sure. Your feelings are valid. It's fine. And yeah, I did send a certain message in 2021 to a person who I'm no longer friends with, and yeah, it was bad. They were very upset by the message. They blocked me, and then I went to a show that they were DJing at, and they were so upset by my very presence that I got banned from the show, which kind of upset me a little bit, but I didn't try to cry too hard about it. Whatever, man. I said the shit that I said, and it led to some consequences, and yeah, I was fucking annoyed. Try to move on. And a week later, after I got banned from that certain room, I got banned from the Comedy Store in Sydney for drawing the girl.
Hello, boy.
Yeah, I asked the girl for her permission to draw her. She
I've
said yes.
officially lost my
And then this
damn
bar
mind.
manager said, "You're bothering my customers." And I said, "No, I'm
What,
not."
boy?
And then
He
he
just
asked me
jumped
to
out a
leave
fucking
and said, "Never
helicopter.
come back." And then
His
I
parachute
left
fell
the
to orbit,
bar, and
and
I
now you
started
kind of wish he
laughing.
missed the
Actually, I thought
tree.
it was pretty funny. And then I
But
offered a bunch of
morality
other
is a
people to
human
draw them, and
construct,
I
and you're
made
not hardwired to
$70
think that way.
from two
I
drawings
can't believe I'm getting
that
smart
night.
talked
It was
by a
pretty
fucking
good.
dog.
What else? Oh yeah, in
Say what?
2022, I did ask a
Wait, you
lot of
talking
people for
about my
money.
kind of bitches or yours?
And my system was basically
This shit is
this, right?
getting weird
I
now,
was in
man.
Auckland at the time. I was pretty depressed. I didn't want to be in Auckland. I wanted to be in Los Angeles so I can make money from art or comedy or whatever. I felt pretty confident in myself. And I asked a lot of people for money to help me get to LA. And a lot of people said no.
Man, you
And
wasn't wrong. Look at this fool.
yeah, I blocked every person who said no. I don't remember if I told anyone to go fuck themselves. But yeah, maybe I was
Hey,
being a little bit
bro.
pissed off or whatever,
You might
and
give me a hand here?
so I blocked a whole bunch of
Man, that's a
people.
cool ass dog.
After asking them for money,
What dog? That dog.
and as a result of the messages that I sent in 2022 and 2021, the dude who I'm running this open mic with, he was alerted about what I said, and he called me, and he basically explained what happened, what he was,
Fuck, I gotta learn how
what
to say no.
he was told, and he said that he wants to hear my side of the story, and I explained to him as best as I could while I was on the bus, and he said okay, and well, that's that for now. I don't really feel that much concern. Sorry to be crass here, but there's not a single comedian or room runner or influential person in the open mic Sydney comedy scene who is worth more than the hairs on my dad's balls. I mean, it's not like any of you are horrible people. It's not like there are any open mic comedy scene people who I fucking despise. I just do not give a shit about any of them. Because I spent many, many years doing open mic comedy while being treated like shit just for being a weird person who told offensive jokes. While being 18 years old, trying to figure out my style. So the treatment I got has absolutely influenced my my outlook on the world. And my outlook is basically, why would I give a fuck about people who don't really give a fuck about me? I don't care. If you want to make the argument that the reason they reached out to my buddy is because they want to protect his reputation, I don't fucking know. I really don't. But yeah, there are absolutely many bitter, jealous, hateful, fucking losers in the world of Sydney comedy. and I would not really consider myself one of them. I mean, my definition of a fucking loser is just someone who obsesses about others and wants other people to go down or something to fulfill some sort of primal fucking desire, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't really care.
Yeah! Try not to land in them damn trees!
My number one priority right now is probably me, and then to an extension, of course, the people around me who I care about. That might include friends or family or whatever. Yeah, so do any of those people have any major beef with me right now? Not really. I try to be nice to everybody, honestly. And so, yeah, the honest to God truth is, I don't think I haven't really sent any majorly provocative message since 2022, I want to say. It's a pretty good streak, if you ask me. I don't really know if anyone's going to listen to this, but yeah, if you are listening to this, then maybe you are interested in my content in some capacity, in which case, thank you. But just so you know, I really don't give a fuck about people who are into my content either. Sorry, it's just that I probably don't really know who you are. Or if I do know you, maybe I don't really know you well. And I especially do not give a fuck about people who went out of their way to message the dude in question and expose me or something. I don't care about them. I don't care what they do. I don't wish them any harm. Honestly.
Last one down the mountain buys the protein shake!
But yeah, so worst case scenario here is I don't want to say most likely, but if I had to say the worst case scenario here is that they'll just be sending random messages to the multiple admins of the Open Mike Sydney Facebook group, and they'll just get my account banned from the Facebook group. Maybe, but so far it hasn't been banned from the Facebook group, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I hate to say it sometimes, but I don't know. I honestly consider myself to be a good person. I really do. I really was taught right from wrong at an early age, and I tried to learn my own version of ethics and stuff. And saying dumb shit over social media, in my opinion, doesn't make you a bad person. Maybe it makes you misguided. Maybe it makes you potentially, unwell. Maybe you're mentally unwell, whatever. And I'm not ashamed to say that in 2022, yeah, I was fairly mentally unwell. Same with 2021. Those were two pretty fucking difficult years for me. Sure. I have to admit that. Do you think people who are unwell behave in a well way? No, they behave like they're unwell. Partly for it, actually. Pretty normal. And so, yeah, man, I have the good grace to forgive myself for doing stupid shit. I think it's a really important thing to do. And from the many conversations I've had about what I've said and done in 2021 and 2022, most people don't really seem to give that much of a shit, to be honest. I talked to one comedian named Fadi Kassam. He's a fairly successful Lebanese Australian comedian. And yeah, he confronted me about some messages that I said to him, and he said that he was really upset at me. And I apologize. And that was one of the only confrontations I've had. I mean, most people who are probably upset at me will not bring this up with me in person. And, I really don't give a shit. But yeah, so maybe somehow just a little bit of drama will get me a very, small boost in views on my current 1 to 0 average views per video streaming series on YouTube. I mean, is this a right move to talk about something that is a little bit controversial on a stream that nobody's watching, I think that's a pretty good move, actually. I would much prefer to talk about it on here, on this YouTube stream, than on my TikTok or my Instagram, where I might get like, what, like 1,000 views on it, and fuck, maybe it might blow up. Because now I am at a point with Instagram and TikTok specifically where literally any video that I post could be the video that becomes my highest viewed video. And that's because I'm kind of getting a little bit rewarded with some little boosts. So to give you guys some perspective, right? I started posting regularly on social media a very long time ago, but I took time off many times. But I tried in various capacities to post things on social media, whether it be videos or status updates or Instagram posts or podcasts or songs. I've tried many different styles for many years, and that involved many times off. And the last, I want to say 2.5 months minimum, probably. The last 2.5 months, I would say, has been my most consistent period of posting at least one thing every day. I have never posted this much publicly available content, specifically short-form videos, every single day for this long. Now, I don't know how many videos I've averaged every day, but it's more than 3. It's more than 3. And so with TikTok and Instagram, I started to see an uptick in views in pretty much the same time, which was, I want to say the start of the year, really. Start of the year, that was the first time a video of mine cracked the 30,000 view mark. So really, it's not much, but it's like the first time I got this big of a number. And then around last week, one of my TikTok videos achieved more than 250,000 views, and it's still growing. And about 3 days ago, I posted a random Instagram meme video on Reels, and so far I think it's sitting at like, I want to say 248,000 views, which is pretty good. But the risk here is, of course, that if I make some random video, like slamming the people of Sydney comedy or whatever, that it'll kind of blow up in my face. You know what I mean? Because yeah, we can go nuclear if we want. We can go nuclear and just list every fucking name of every person I have beef with, and just go ta and then post that on Instagram and fucking TikTok and YouTube or whatever. But I don't really feel like that is a good strategy as far as wanting, like a stable audience. You know what I mean? Like an audience of people who will watch me, not just click for the drama. But yeah, man, I am honestly surprised that in the phone call with a buddy of mine, that it didn't like immediately lead to him saying, "Hey, man, I've heard some weird things about you, and I'm gonna have to cut ties here, buddy." I'm kind of surprised it didn't cut ties with me like immediately. It's kind of funny because that kind of happened before. I was working with this dude uh, at a place at an open mic group. Not an open mic group, sorry. So I was helping out with an open mic, right? An open mic that no longer exists. And as soon as that dude, let's call him Jay. Okay, his name is Jay. His name isn't Jay, but let's call him Jay. So Jay posted my face on the Facebook group, same fucking group, or maybe on his own profile, I don't know. But he posted on Facebook saying, introducing the newest member of this comedy. He announced that I'm helping out, and a whole bunch of people were happy for me. They're like, "Good for you." And then about a couple days later, while I was on a road trip to Byron Bay with a buddy of mine, I get a call from Jay, and he says, "Hey man, I've heard some things about you. Apparently you have a real stink. You have a real stinky reputation, and so I can't really work with you." And this was in 2017, and I was kind of upset. But at the same time, I'm not going to spend too much time warning about not being able to co-run an open mic. comedy room in Sydney. Because why would I? I was doing so much cool shit in 2017, you know, it didn't even bother me. 2017 alone, I went to several countries, including Europe, China, and I did a comedy competition, and I won part of it, which was pretty exciting. I also got to see one of my favorite bands ever, Death Grips, and I bought it from a scam website, and the tickets still work. The scam, I think, was that they charged exorbitant booking fees, but when we arrived, the ticket worked, and that was cool. Yeah, man, 2017 was a crazy year. It's really fun, really fucking fun. And and I truly believe that if you behave like a nice person, even if you make many mistakes, eventually people will stand by you, and they will, at the very least, try to understand your perspective, which is pretty fucking cool. Because when I got this phone call today, I actually explained myself. When I got the phone call in 2017, there was no explanation beside. Jay called me and immediately said, "This is what's happening. I'm cutting you out, and I'm sorry." And Jay doesn't do comedy as far as I'm aware anymore, and he absolutely does not run that room. He let go of running the room, and someone else took over, and that dude took over for a while. And I'm pretty good friends with that dude, I guess. I mean, I don't know how some people feel about me, but he seems to be nice to me or whatever. But yeah, man. Thank you so much for listening. If you are listening to this, by the way, and you find it interesting, then maybe you are an open micer of some variety, which is, by the way, it's totally fine. Okay, it really is, man. If you enjoy my content and you're a fucking open micer, totally cool. And if you're an open micer and you wanna approach me and you like my content, or if you want suggestions for what I should talk about, that's totally okay, man. It's totally fine, man. I'm open. Comment section on this video is open, and I doubt I will shut it down because, yeah, I'm happy with certain comments. Sometimes people say shitty things to me in the comments, and I delete the comments. But yeah, it's fine. Anyway, I watched Marty Supreme, and it wasn't very good. I also went to my parents' house, and I filled an entire bag with random crap in my old room because my old room in my parents' house is still being used as a storage space for some of my old crap. I don't live in my parents' house. I haven't lived there for more than 12 months. But there's still random crap in there that kind of belongs to me. One thing I do have in there is a budget drum kit. It's not like the electronic drum kit that looks like a drum kit. I thought I'd get the cheapest one I could, but from a reputable music store, and I didn't really use it, but it sounds pretty good. I thought it was pretty good, man. Yeah, for those of you who don't know this about me, I studied music in the year 2024, and I completed and graduated from um, a certificate 3 in music performance. So I did that, and then I got the certificate in the mail for it, just to confirm that I passed the entire course, which was pretty nice. Then I did a certificate 4 in music performance, and I finished about half of it, and I dropped out. And a few weeks later, I ended up in a psych ward. And then I got out of the psych ward, and a couple of weeks later, I ended up in a pretty bad, toxic share house. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I lived there for like 5 months, so I tolerated it to an extent. And that was, yeah, I moved out of that share house in early 2025. I want to say April. And that's kind of around the same time that I got back into comedy. I vividly remember this one really upsetting memory where I went to an open mic in a bar and I didn't perform, but I wasn't upset being around comedians or anything. I was just upset that I went there and I didn't know anybody. It's kind of upsetting, really, to go into an open mic after having done open mic comedy for so many years and to be like, I don't know any fucking people. And I kind of discouraged me a little bit. But then I just kept going to random open mics, and eventually I signed up to perform, and I performed. And I was kind of shitty when I got back into it, but then I kind of started getting a little bit better, started getting some of my old confidence back. So yeah, it's been like a couple of months now where I've been performing pretty much every week, save for the holiday break, the recent holiday break. Yeah, man. Doing comedy for a very, very long time. It really it teaches you many lessons. And one of the lessons that I've learned the hard way is try your best not to give a fuck what random comedians or bookers think about you. Because at the end of the day, they don't really fucking matter to me. Why would they? If I was absolutely best friends with every single room booker in Sydney, Australia, who books Sydney comedy rooms, that would be cool. I like having friends. I like being friendly with people. I really do. I like having chats, whatever. But at the same time, it's not like getting booked at every single Sydney comedy room in Australia, or Sydney specifically, would get me that much money. I would still need to hustle and figure out how to really earn a full-time income, right? Most likely, my path is I would need to put in more years than someone like Daniel Muggleton or Andrew Hamilton. Because I've met both Andrew Hamilton and Daniel Muggleton, and the unfortunate reality is they have this quality. One sec, guys. One. Okay, we'll see. أنا شفته صح هذه. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Of course. Thanks, man. Good night, man. Bye. All right. So yeah, I just took a call from mommy, my mommy, not yours, presumably. And what was I saying? Shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying that I lack a certain quality that people like Andrew Hamilton and Daniel Muggleton lack, which is that I don't know what it is, man, but they seem to be better at not flying off the handle in general. They seem to be more chilled out people. And maybe I'm wrong, but they kind of seem like both of them are extroverts, I want to say. That's the impression I get. And being an extrovert in comedy is interesting because it actually puts you at a pretty big fucking advantage. If you naturally enjoy getting like along with people, feel like drinking with your bros or whatever, that kind of helps. They're both, as far as I know, white Australian men, which helps a little bit too. Facts are facts. Being white helps too. And also, they do have a work ethic that, in some ways, I do lack. Yeah, so because of the combination of factors, some of which are out of my control, some of which are within my control, yeah, I probably will not succeed in the same way they've succeeded, at their pace. Hamilton started comedy after, like many years after. And yeah, he's doing very well for himself. He has his own YouTube channel called the OG Crew. It's getting really fucking popular. And I have nothing but respect for people like that who start their own YouTube channel. They're doing well. And he's touring. Last time I heard of it, he went on tour in different states in Australia and also in the UK, which again, that's pretty fucking good. I wouldn't mind doing that. Daniel Muggleton is a comedian who I met when I started doing open mics. In fact, the very first open mic I ever started performing at was run by Daniel himself. It's called Mug and Kettle Comedy. It was run by Daniel Muggleton and this dude named Samuel Kettler, maybe. I don't really remember Sam too much. I haven't seen him in more than 12 years. Daniel, I last saw him, as far as I remember, at a gig in which I was banned the next day, so that kind of left a bitter taste in my throat or whatever. But yeah, I don't really have any issues with Daniel. Of course, I'm fucking jealous. I am a little bit jealous because yeah, he's doing so much fucking better than me. But hey, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Comedy is a tricky beast, really a tricky beast, and I'm not very good with certain situations, certain social
Can you please
schemes.
give me a ride? I can't
I'm
do
very
it.
good at
I
shitting
can't
the bed
marry
in
him.
certain social situations.
Alright, come
Get in the
on,
car,
I
yeah.
got you.
Okay.
Just
But
get
you
me
know,
out
I
of
don't
here,
try to
please. I live in
I
Vinewood
don't
Hills.
try I don't really try to
Drive.
chastise myself
Oh
too
God,
hard
thank you
about
so
it.
much. I was starting to think nobody was going to stop. People see a girl screaming in a wedding dress and they assume crazy. He's the crazy one, not me. Talk about anger issues. No, I couldn't go through with it. I'm not ready. Ugh, just the thought of waking up next to that caveman every morning for the rest of my life. Oh my God, no! I think that's him. He's coming after me.
Who the hell do you think you are? He seems like a real charmer.
I think I'm gonna have to beat him up, right?
I
I'm
bang
scrub to do. Beat him up!
I should never
Beat him
have let
up!
it go this
Beat him
far.
up!
Oh God.
Beat him up!
What's my dad
I
going
was
to
seeing
say?
double in the
He's
project,
gonna
man,
take
and
my
myself,
unfinished
and put it to
ice
the
sculptures
side.
for the reception. We had these cute little cell phone covers made with our photo on them.
Oh my god, you're so
You're
fucking annoying.
crazier than he is.
Fucking leave! Jesus Christ, lady. I was trying to help you out. I beat up your stupid fiance for you. And then he's like, shut up. Jesus Christ, you're so annoying. Where'd she go? It doesn't matter. I'm looking at some cabanossi that I got from Kohl's today. I kept it in my bag, and as soon as my mom called, that's when I remembered that there's cabanossi in my bag, so I'll put it in the fridge very soon. Cabanossi, I don't know if it's popular in the States or not, but it's like a pretty simple snack. It kind of tastes like a hot dog, I guess, but it comes in these really big tube-like shapes. I think there's 3 tubes in this packet. So it's 300 grams. I think $12 a kilo, which is pretty cheap for any type of meat, really. Obviously, if I ever really wanted to hunker down and save as much money as possible while maintaining protein intake, I'd probably have to introduce in elements like tuna, sardines, and I don't want to do that because I am not that interested in saving up like at a crazy level. But maybe I should. Maybe I should like do a challenge where I only eat like really like the most cheap things. Like I'm talking rice and chickpeas and ketchup. Like that's it. I try to keep it really simple. Wow. I started spacing out my Uber Eats orders. I started like going like, well, maybe it would be a little cheaper if I don't order Uber Eats every day. Today I splurged on a Uber Eats order because I ordered from my favorite restaurant which is Johnny Gio's Pizza. It's like my favorite takeout Uber Eats restaurant. And yeah, I got the margarita pizza. It came with a promo, free garlic bread. The garlic bread was absolutely delicious, and it justified
They don't make them like
the
they used to.
$25 price tag for the pizza. Might have paid a little bit extra for the delivery fee, but you know, it's all right. Man, it kind of feels good to know that, really, it feels good to know that at the very least, some people out there are giving me a chance and they don't think I'm a fucking weirdo. And, you know, there is obviously something to be said about just, you know, examining your own actions and trying to come up with your own sense of self and, you know, and all that good stuff. But also, yeah, it also helps to, you know, use other people as a reference, right? And if I use like literally anyone that I've met in the last like 3 years, so 2025, 2023, 2022, most of them will not say that I'm a fucking piece of shit, as far as I'm aware. Mm. Yeah, man. Uh, we live in unethical times. I'm being real. The world kind of feels like a dark fucking place right now. The more you hear about celebrities in Hollywood, the more you kind of find out just how many people are, I don't know, fucking twisted individuals. And that's kind of upsetting and depressing. But I don't think anyone who hates me is necessarily a twisted individual or anything like that. Of course not. It's entirely possible that you just dislike me for any particular reason. I don't really care. Where is my face, guys?
Hey, man.
Anyone here listening to this right now? Anyone who
What do
is
you
current is
want?
anyone listening to this right now
I don't want
is
anything,
aware of
man.
where my
Come on, your
vape is
company's good
and can
enough, huh?
comment it below?
Same as always.
Ha! Probably not, right? I mean, it's my house. I'm in my house right now, so when I arrived, I had it in my pocket, and it's not in my pocket anymore.
That's my car, you prick!
I still have pizza, like leftover pizza from a couple of hours ago, and I'm not hungry. Yeah, I don't even like to answer the phone calls too much.
Shit!
I'll tell you a little funny anecdote, actually. I have a vape, and you know, it is one of those vapes that produces a certain effect. You get what I'm saying? So one of those wacky vapes. And I was on the bus, right? And I kid you not, right? I've been sucking on this vape like the last 3 days, and I know something is coming out, but no vapor came out, okay? So for 3 days straight, I've been basically sucking on this thing, feeling like a little bit, and I can see that there's a little bit of oil in it or whatever, THC oil. And then when I was on the bus, out of nowhere, right, I sucked in a little bit of the vape, and like vapor came out, like a little bit of smoke. And I was so surprised that I said sorry, and I walked away from my seat, and I walked over the back of the bus, and then the bus door opened, and I just left. I left the bus. It was so fucking weird. And then I bought a water because I started coughing from the sudden inhalation. You know what I mean? I was just so fucking surprised. It's really fucking weird. I've never had a vape like this. Like a vape that literally just stopped producing the vapor, and then all of a sudden it's producing it again. So fucking weird. Man, I am really good at Grand Theft Auto. I might just be the greatest Grand Theft Auto player in the world. No, but I am in the top. I am in the top 400,000 people who played this month. Maybe? Fuck, maybe not. I'm pretty dog shit at this game, guys. How about this? If there was some random arbitrary category called most funny streamer who has less than 5 views while playing Grand Theft Auto 5, shit, I might take that title. So that's not really much to brag about. But out of all the people who have been consistently posting GTA 5 streams while trying to be funny and getting 0 views, I'd say I'm definitely one of the funniest ones in that very niche category. And sometimes when you arrive early into a niche category, you feel like a big dumb idiot, but sometimes it kind of pays off a little bit. I always see myself as a pioneer in some way. I always try to be innovative. I always try to be whatever. And yeah, man, I I've experienced many setbacks in my life. I fucked up many times. And honestly, my one regret in life, but it's not really a huge regret, but my one regret is that I didn't really land a good job in like 2017, immediately after finishing university. I think that would have been really interesting to run my life back and see what it would have been like if in 2017, like I landed a really nice job and I just kept working every year until now. That is kind of an interesting scenario, but I don't spend too much time thinking about it because, well, what happened happened and what's happening is happening.
他男友已
It
经
is what
到
it
了机
is.
场，不管他到哪班去，我们会跟上。
What am I doing right now? Did I just get on a plane? I did. I got on a plane. Oh my god, they removed my weapon! Wait, they gave me a pistol.
We're going to move to Los Santos. Start over. I made a deal. The slate will be totally wiped clean. Hey, everybody pay attention. No one gets hurt. Trust me, darling. Look at me. Amanda. It was
Is this like a flashback moment or something?
One guy gets out. I'm that guy.
What is happening?
His name is Dave Norton. Nice guy. Realist.
I'm just not a huge fan of those random ass missions where they deliberately design it so that you feel helpless or whatever because you lost all your guns or you suddenly switch to a different helpless character or whatever. You know, one game that actually did that really well that I thought was pretty effective was Last of Us, first one. That mission where you suddenly switch to Ellie after Joel gets injured and you're not even sure if he can live. That one was fucking brutal, bro, because Ellie had to fight off this cannibal creep guy and she stabbed the shit out of him and there was like a really tense standoff before that.
Be happy. Be normal.
That was cool. My mom noticed that I felt upset or down today.
We did it.
And maybe part of it has to do with the open mic community drama. Maybe part of it has to do with the fact that I haven't slept much. And maybe part of it has to do with the fact that I am kind of broke. And maybe part of it has to do with the fact that there's been a lot of blood leaking out of my dick. So, maybe it could have been either one of them. I suspect it's the blood of the dick part. That's actually kind of upsetting to me, but who cares? Sleep deprivation is also such a fucking asshole. It really is, man. I believe that the more rest you get, the better off you are. I also believe that naps can help compensate to an extent. Yeah, man. I remember reading Kevin Hart's book, and one of the things he talked about was how he was always staying up really late, like trying to network and stuff, and how his girlfriend at the time was so jealous and upset that he was doing that. Oh my god, I remember the scene actually, not because I remember it from the original game. It's because I remember it from this Flying Kitty video, I think. Flying Kitty is this really funny YouTuber who specializes in a genre known as YTP, YouTube Poops. And that's, yeah, it's so funny the way he did with so many GTA videos.
Comes out
really good.
Give it a rest, Trevor. There's nothing there. This is it. Moment of truth.
it's kind of surprising actually just how well the character models of the main characters hold up. Like all three of them are so fucking detailed to this day.
As if I didn't know. Brad!
Look, we do what we gotta do to survive. This thing, it didn't work out the way it was supposed to.
Oh, and how was that, huh? With Brad in the can and me in the ground, or both of us in the coffin?
Brad got shot. You saw it. He didn't make it. I got shot. I did. That's it.
I think the only thing that didn't go as planned was me showing up on your doorstep 10 years later. Mikey, I mourned you.
And I missed you. But I got a fucking family, Trevor. We were all gonna die. He did die.
You reptilian motherfucker!
I didn't want to.
Ah, you got the big pistol. That is such a fun little touch, actually.
But I do.
Fuck, it's so cool.
Lose than you.
Never a truer word has been spoken, brother. Now pull the fucking trigger. You ain't got the guts. Take the fucking shot! Who is that? Fuck! Fuck!
Trevor Phillips! Mr. Shaw has requested a word! Hey, ho ho! I'm not the guy you're looking for! Hey, come to me! Get the boyfriend! Boyfriend? Motherfucker.
Let's have a talk.
Should I shoot the guy? Of course I should. He's shooting at me.
Who are your friends, T?
That was a pretty emotional moment, right? That's when Steve knows the actor. That's when Trevor finds out that Brad died, right? Presumably that's like an emotional moment and stuff. Still pretty good. Yeah, I mean, when you have a game where basically your face as an actor is in the game, and you're moving around, you know, they're recording your movement, you know, it's not fair to just call you a voice actor. You're an actor. So these are professional actors who are acting a pretty good role. And even GTA San Andreas, going as far back as 2005, they had pretty good actors in that one too, but I would say this is a step up. Sean Fontana, oh my god, I just remembered, holy shit. I just remembered the name of Franklin's voice actor, which is Sean Fontana. I still don't remember Michael's voice actor's name, but I know Stephen Ogg plays Trevor, and I know Sean Fontana plays Franklin.
Where are you?
Now, do I risk it, or I feels better if I just but might be better if I just. What are you? Oh my god, it's so fucking frustrating. I am so sorry. Why? I don't remember unequipping the goddamn gun. This might be a skip mission for me, guys. Maybe I should go to bed early or something. You know? Start off with a fresh start tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. On Sunday, I was actually kind of interested in watching Twin Peaks playing at a theater, but I kind of don't want to anymore. Even if I can afford it, I don't feel like it. Just, doesn't feel like it's worth the money. Like $45 to watch 9 episodes of Twin Peaks Season 3 in a theater. It's fine, of course, if you enjoyed Twin Peaks Season 3, which I barely did. Honestly, thought it was really dull and kind of dumb and frankly
Trevor.
crass.
You got nowhere to go, boyfriend. All right. Get out the fucking car.
Oh man, I can't believe oh man, I can't believe. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll probably have to stop the stream there. If you watch this and you're not me, then actually that's kind of a win for me. Anyone who watches the stream that isn't just me rewatching my own stream is the victor at this point. Alright, I'm gonna have to end there. Cool. Thanks for watching.